Joey is visually impaired and he was having a hard time walking in his neighborhood. There were vending machines that took up the sidewalk, and it made it unsafe. He went to his city council member and asked what they could do. The council member told him that they would have to change the law by putting it up to a vote to ban vending machines. A few months before the vote, the council member told him that the law wasn't popular and that the vending machine company was paying to stop the law from passing. At first, Joey was dejected, but then he had a good idea. He realized that visually impaired people weren't the only people that might have trouble with the vending machines. He realized that there were people with different causes that shared the same interest in getting rid of vending machines on the city streets. He formed a coalition with the hot dog vendors. He got the support of an activist group that focused on the rights of the physically disabled. They formed a coalition of interest groups called a voting bloc or a power bloc. Voting blocs can unite people with different political goals. By pooling voting resources, voting blocs can win elections that single-cause interest groups can't win alone. Voting blocs are frequently the best choice for minority causes. They can bring together groups that might otherwise vote in opposition to one another. An excellent example is the voting bloc made up of environmental activist groups and hunters activist groups that unite to protect wildlife and enact conservation laws. Voting blocs also have the power to send messages to elected officials. Voting blocs can convey the desires of minority voters to representatives that might not listen otherwise. Voting blocs can represent minority voters outside of their own constituency. Voting blocs frequently give voice to minority voters, but sometimes they can work against minorities. The problem is, voting blocs aren't limited to minority voting groups. When majority groups form voting blocs, they can lock down the political process. Voting blocs can empower individuals, but they can be a quiet force to silence the individual as well. With the combined efforts of the voting bloc, Joey and the other voters were able to change the city and ban vending machines.